And he eventually finds Beyonder where? At a
bar.
Comic Books and Cold Ones, everyone. Perfect.
Because the Beyonder loves beer.
And here we go again. It is finally time for another episode of Comic Books and Cold Ones. This is the beer podcast with a comic book problem. We drink all things beer. Well, I'm going to do that in reverse. We talk all things comic books and we drink all things beer. Now, it's been some time since we've had an episode. We had a busy summer, but I'm still K-Mac, and I have returned with my podcast buddy, Yakonder. He is from Yakond. That's the best I could think of for this one.
That was terrible. Can be Crit Wars 2, the Kamal Culvers.
That's me.
I equally match your terrible with my playful pun on your name. And I am back, and you are back, and we're here to record a podcast continuing on about our Big Swig pub crawl. And we're following up our last Big Swig pub crawl, which was Secret Wars 2, just the mainline crossover comics of the series that they released with it. And this one, we are going back in for a little thing K-Mac is called Last Call for Crossovers, where we actually follow all the side issues, or at least the side issues that K-Mac deemed worthy for us to read for this.
Yeah, I mean, we can't do all the side issues. We have lives and jobs and families, and doing all the side issues would probably take us the rest of our lives.
This series did run for upwards of a year at least through the Marvel Universe, destroying countless numbers of storylines and creators' faith in their comics and their editorial staff.
Yeah, it did all those things. There were 34 total crossovers at the time, and we're just going to pick a select few. A few of them we picked just because I own the actual paper copy of the issue. And then I also want to thank, I think it was Comic Book Resources went through and did a summary of all the issues, designating which ones were worth reading and which ones were just absolutely not worth reading. So I did kind of base the decisions off of that. So credit to Comic Book Resources for a very thorough summary of all of these crossovers. I couldn't do it. I couldn't read all 34 of those. No way.
That's the specialty of the research and information we bring to you here at Comic Books and Cold Ones. And since you've landed on here, you can hit us up at cbcopodcast@gmail.com or tweet at us at cbco_podcast, or like all our pictures on Instagram on Comic Books_Cold Ones. Those are our medias. Rate us wherever you listen to your podcasts, wherever you're listening to us now. Give us the 5 stars for all the beyond things that we bring and the knowledge that we do by cutting out 34 crossover issues down to a handful for you to read. And do we have any shout-outs today, K-Mac?
We sure do. And another thing, too, in addition to all those social medias and things, if you like our show, just tell your friends. Just go talk to them and say, hey, I know this great show, and you should listen to and have a beer. Correct?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. And shout-out goes to Halifax, Nova Scotia. Some Vikings. Listen to our show there.
I like to believe it. I have never been to Halifax. I've always wanted to go, it being the easternmost of the provinces of Canada, out there on the fringe of the Atlantic, closest to Europe, and also where that Money Pit Island, or Money Pit thing that they're doing with that Oak Island thing, where they just dig holes in the ground.
That's right off the coast, isn't it?
Yeah, those dumbasses think there's actually anything left on the island other than dirt and water.
But I remember reading about that in the 80s in one of these unexplained books I have, and it seemed pretty neat then, but it doesn't seem worth like dredging up an entire island for, because what are you going to find? You're not going to find anything that pays you back from destroying that poor place.
A money pit. There's a money pit. And you know what's in the money pit?
Nothing.
Dirt.
Dirt and mud.
If
there was money, it's washed out to sea by now.
They keep finding wood timbers, and I'm like, no shit. You're digging into
it's a wooded island.
It's named Oak Island, you dumb shits. For God's sake, you're gonna find downed oak trees. Oh, it's a really old one. And they got that guy wandering around with the metal detector, like it's gonna make a goddamn difference when you find on the surface.
Yeah, but that's one of those shows where You're like, all right, I'm just going to watch this one episode, and that's it. And the end, there's this huge cliffhanger that makes you come back, and you watch the next episode. The first quarter of it is a summary of the last episode, and then maybe they find something at the end again, and before you know it, your whole day is gone.
Yeah. I have a guy, a
Your
buddy,
day
out
is lost
drinking beers
in,
with him.
your day is lost in an Oak Island money pit.
Yes, I have a buddy that out drinking beers at the local beer gardens. He's telling me all about it, and I'm like, dude, you know they're not going to find anything. Went out another time a couple months ago, and he goes, I had to buy the next season, the most recent season. I'm like, what'd you have to buy the most recent season? You can go to my backyard. I'll give you a shovel. We can recreate it. But Halifax looks like a really cool place to visit. I want to go there sometime and enjoy the scenery, maybe do some fishing and eat some Nova Scotia lobsters.
Yeah, I'd go there too. We should go live show.
And you know what Nova Scotia means, correct, Kevin?
Probably, but you're going to remind me because I don't remember. New what? New Scotland? New Scot something?
That would be the correct answer, but it really just means hole in the ground that people watch on a TV show about. So
That was my second guess.
that's it's actually a Native American word, Nova Scotia, or Native Canadian word, I should say. Nova Scotia. For fool dig hole in ground.
Yeah, that's perfect. So did you bring a beer to today's show, Mr.
Well,
Yep?
that's what I was getting ready to ask you, and of course I did, since we're doing crossovers, and I felt I had to get something crossovery and goody, and something
right.
a style I haven't done a whole lot with in the show before, and that's a sour that I'm doing. And this one is from our friends in Kansas City at Boulevard Brewing Company. And this is called Smooth Collider,
Ooh.
a smoothie sour ale with strawberry, banana, and vanilla. It all started with the invention of the electric blender, which brought about the popularity of the smoothie in the 1940s. Modern scientific and technology advances have brought the tasty, fruity emulsion through the atomic age to today.
Oh.
Smooth Collider is the smoothie of the future, with massive banana and tart strawberry aroma leading the way to a full-bodied explosion of fruit flavors. It kicks in at 6.5% ABV, 10 IBUs, and there's something called EBC that I've never heard of, with a color of 8. European Brewery Conventions, the color of beer. The higher the number, the darker the beer. So that's the next one for me. But I figure this is a mashup that only 34 issues of crossover could compete with all the things they're putting into this sour beer here.
Yeah, that's a lot of different flavors.
Yeah.
It's going to taste like candy, I bet.
I hope so. And what are you kicking in with it today?
Yes, you're correct. I also brought a beer to this show. What do you know? So my beer is out of Fort Myers Brewing Company, which is a couple hours south of where I live, and it's called Gateway Gold. And gold plays a prominent factor in one of our crossover issues today. So that's why I chose this one. And it is a tall blonde ale. And the website says it is 4.1 ABV. So it's not super strong, but they say it's smooth and light bodied with a unique touch of sweetness. Whether you're a novice or a hardcore beer lover, this easy drinking brew always goes down smooth, according to the website. So, and it has this cool picture of a tall blonde.
Ah,
that's nice.
So
I didn't notice that until just now.
So I've never heard of a tall blonde style ale, just blonde style ales, but I guess it's a play on the fact that they found a tall blonde to put on the bottle.
Yeah. It says smooth, crisp, refreshing, and all the adjectives. Just like the Beyonder is all the adjectives.
All the adjectives. He's from beyond.
He is from beyond. He is from beyond. Oh, hey, and the one thing we forgot to mention, too, is while we were on, we'll just call it a hiatus, we had some various things going on in our personal lives that prevented us from recording for a little while. We did, however, manage to make guest appearances on a little podcast called Kevin Kev Talking Sports, where Yek spent about 10 seconds talking about all the fantasy or all the fantasy options, maybe, or no, all the good things that the Chicago Bears are going to do this year. And I spent about 45 minutes talking about all the good things the Buccaneers are going to do this year. But so if you're interested in hearing us on another show talking about something different, Kevin Kev Talking Sports, they're, good guys, and they love sports and they love Kevs. So
I broke down 4 minutes of the 4 wins the Bears are going to get this year.
You think they're going to win 4?
But I did. Well, statistically, it's 4 to 6 is the
Is their
prime range.
spread?
But they could run up to 12 because they play a dog crap
They
schedule
got a
this
bad
year.
schedule. Didn't
Yeah.
one of them pick them to win 0 games? One of the Kevs.
Yeah, one of the Kevs. I think
Yeah.
Kev Prime.
Kev Prime. Yeah.
We're calling him.
Yeah, I just call him Spoon for other
Yeah.
reasons.
Okay. All right, you ready to open these up?
Yeah, let's open them up.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, let's see if this comes in with an 8 on the color scale.
Yeah, what color is that? I'm curious.
Well, as you can imagine, it is a strawberry sour color. And it's fizzy.
Mm.
And you can smell the fruit coming right off of it. It is a smoothie collider.
Mine is golden.
That is a gold color, the blonde color gold nail. Well, cheers. Let's get ready to talk some crossover.
That's a good beer. Yours must be sweet. Is it really sweet?
It's sweet and tart at the same time. It tastes like a smoothie.
Oh, sweet tart.
Like literally like I went to the Jamba Juice and was like, give me vanilla, give me banana, give me strawberry, and smoothie that up, Jamba Juice.
Give me vanilla banana. They should make something called a sweet tart for crossovers like this.
They should.
They should.
That's your future company, Sweet Tart.
It is the sweet tart. The sweet tart.
Well, just to remind everybody that Secret Wars was the second major crossover heralded by Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief of the time. After the success of Secret Wars, decided to take over all the comic books and run through it. They did their main comics with one series going for a full year with Jim Shooter writing and Al Milgrom doing the art and a few other people and cast of characters going through. And it ran through all the books and made up all the silliness of Marvel from July 1985 through something in 1986. Can't make to put the show notes, but I would assume about July 1986 is when it ended.
Probably. I copied those show notes from your show notes from the last one. So you didn't put them on then.
Well, I didn't need to because I memorized it then.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I felt like I didn't have to research it anymore.
But in addition to the single runs, as we pointed out, there are multiple crossovers, and we are going to break down the ones that K-Mac found out on Comic Resources that we should read, and these go in chronological order kind of to the series, correct, K-Mac?
Yeah, I think so. I just followed them off of Comic Book Resources, so I think that's the way they work. Either way, just read them. It doesn't really matter.
It's more of an excuse for us to drink beer tonight and talk about the weirdness that is mid-1980s.
Yeah, and the first one we're going to talk about is definitely one of the early crossovers. I think we go in pretty close to order of those issues until we get toward the end. I can't really tell if it's more of like the writers for the individual issues not sure what Secret Wars 2 is doing and not sure like the Beyonder's state of mind at that moment, because they're a little bit he's very different from issue to issue, these crossovers sometimes.
And we'll get to the series where they're like, we don't want to take part in this at all, so we're just going to tell origin stories.
Yeah. I'm just going to tag along for an origin story.
So first one is Captain America 308. This is kind of in the heart of the Mark Gruenwald run here. And we had some burn art and Dennis Yankee. And this is the one, the first appearance of one of my favorite Captain America villains, and everybody else's should be, and that is
the Armadillo Man. Hell yeah. He's awesome. Carl Malice.
The doctor who helps the power broker make wrestlers and super villains, creates the Armadillo in exchange for promising to take care of his wife, and all he has to do is go kill all the Avengers. And the Armadillo, of course, looks like a giant armadillo. It has the powers of a giant armadillo, thus being armor plated, big digging claws, super strong, and the ability to dig.
Yeah, and I mean, he's an armadillo. That's all I got to say about that. Does he do anything after this issue, Mr. Armadillo?
Well, he pops up here now. We might know him better from appearing recently in the MODOK TV show as a claymated character that drinks at the bar no name, and they go on a drunken bender to try to get his wife back, who's not the same wife as in the comic book, in the comic book, it's Maria Benito Rodriguez. But for some reason, in the TV show, he's divorced from Irene, and Irene is boning somebody new. And if you remember who that is, K-Mac,
No, I didn't get to watch all the MODOK series.
you watch this one because it's one where he's banging the mandrill. She's banging the
Oh,
mandrill.
oh, geez, yeah, that sounds familiar. So long ago.
And you get to see the mandrill's junk all pixelated out. But this issue really isn't that exciting, other than the burn art, and it so involves a
Yeah.
West Coast Avengers crossover.
Yeah, and well,
And
Captain America gets to test out the security of the West Coast Avengers compound, including their stunulators.
yes,
Like, if you're gonna have a secret base compound, or an even not so secret base compound, or if you're gonna have a base compound, must have stunulators. Although they don't get Cap, which is because he's Cap, but stunulators.
don't get stun elated.
Yes, don't get stunulated.
What was the number one stunners? What was that rap song?
I don't know. I know there's a Stone Cold Stunner, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
different.
well, do you think he took it from this episode? This
Oh,
is
he's a huge West Coast Avengers fan. The big
big time.
timers, the big timers do "Stunnin'," the rap song.
Yeah. Well, this beer I'm drinking would go well with the West Coast Avengers compound. We're just laying out with Hawkeye and Bobby Morris, Mockingbird, watching Cap run the gauntlet that is the Stunulators on the security compound. Also, I like this one because they alludes to something we covered in the West Coast Avengers issues we covered a couple of podcasts ago, where they have Goliath just locked up in the basement at the West
Yeah,
Coast Avengers compound.
yeah. So Grunwald does a great job with continuity that's occurring right at that moment in West Coast Avengers. So he and Armadillo go to visit Goliath, don't they? Don't they let him out?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
they decide you can go free, big man.
yeah.
That's
And then they
part of
find Dr. Malice.
yes. And it all goes something, but the big upshot from this is the issue where Beyonder sees Captain America and decides to take on his form, correct? Came back, I think.
Yeah, this is where the Beyonder decides he's going to use Captain America's likeness, at least initially, where he's wearing the white bodysuit and he looks like Steve Rogers with the blonde hair. And then at the end of this issue, the Beyonder beams away, but that's when he goes to Manhattan for the Secret Wars 2 #2. I'll take Manhattan issue.
Yes.
Yes.
And the name of this
a
issue
fun
is
issue.
yep.
Go ahead.
Which is probably the best one of the best issues of the Secret Wars mainline. Yeah, I think Secret Wars 2 mainline. But really,
Where the learning to poop, that one?
yes.
Yes, correct.
But really, overall, not that eventful comic. But Mark Brunel obviously puts the Beyonder in the background, doesn't do anything with him. He's like, I got to do this. I'm playing along with this because I got too many things going on with the Serpent Society I need to deal with.
Right. Right. The Serpent Society always has a lot going on.
Yeah. Which brings us to the next issue we cover at the Web of Spider-Man #6, Gold Rush.
Yes, which happens right after Secret Wars 2 issue 2, because in that issue, it ends with the Beyonder having a friendly discussion with Luke Cage, where Luke Cage is trying to explain to him the importance of money. And he says, Luke Cage tells him, bread, cash, gap. With this, you can get yourself just about anything. Without it, you got jack. And so the Beyonder turns that building to gold, the building that Heroes for Hire is in, to gold, so he can get more gap. Hell yeah.
Not only the building, but all the contents also get turned to gold.
True.
I did research trying to find out the slang for gap.
Yeah, I did too. Did you?
Urban Dictionary did not have anything in relation to money. Had other things in relation to body parts on females. lots on that. That I had to go take a shower afterwards. That I didn't feel quite right about. But nothing in relation to Stonehold, Core Cash, or gold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Jim Shooter knows something we don't know. But
it's GAAP, not GAAP, which would have made some general accounting administrative practices or whatever. Yeah. Then I'd be like, Luke Cage has been taking night courses and
Right.
using
He's
the
doing his
slang from his
accounting right.
accounting class.
Yeah.
Look beyond her, you got to debit the right and credit the left, yo.
Yeah.
you, got,
Mhm.
you need more on the left credit than you do on the right debit. Fool.
And so this Web of Spider-Man issue number 6 is called Gold Rush. It was written by Danny Fingeroth and penciled by the Mikes, Harris and Zek. Also inked by Mike Zek, Bob
But
Layton, Dave Simmons, Jim Mooney, and we'll kind of stop there.
but who
But
did the cover on it?
who did the cover on it? John Byrne, Mr.
Yes.
John Byrne. It has a great cover. Spider-Man in his red and blue costume falling and then like twisting into, a more controlled fall. And if there's an Amazing Spider-Man issue that crosses over with Secret Wars as well, and it's another issue about the gold building, not really important to the story from what I understand, but it's the same image exactly, except Spider-Man's in his black costume.
Yes. I was wondering why he wasn't in his black costume in this one, since this is after, the Secret Wars, and he's adopted the black costume and everything, and he's kind of switching back between the two of them. And K-Mac is holding up the cover of the Web of Spider-Man that he actually owns for this one, which is impressive.
Yes.
And did you see how Byrne signed it?
Oh yeah, with his name on the building.
Yeah, as
That's
one of the
awesome.
signs in the building, yeah.
And John Byrne is so awesome.
So at this time, I think John Byrne was doing all the comics at DC.
And Marvel. Right?
and a quarter of the comics at Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, doing like cover and artwork for almost all of them.
Speaking of which, John Byrne's from Canada. Is he from Halifax?
Probably.
Is he also the Halifax explosion?
He is, well, he's also looking for that mud pit. So
Oak Island, the
Island.
money pit. So he was born in Walsall, Staffordshire, but he was raised in Canada, if I remember right.
I can find no link between John Byrne and Oak Island Money Pit.
While living there prior to his family immigrating to Canada when John was 8. But it didn't say where they immigrated to.
So he just lived in Canada, generic?
It's a big-ass country, so you can kind of just live.
Yeah.
There's got to be some parts of Canada that are just still Canada, like they haven't made it there yet.
Yeah, they're so far north.
You have to divvy it up to any other parts, any other provinces or territories. And they're just like, that's just still Canada. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what a better place, there's no better place to find someone to write all of the popular comic books of the 80s than in someplace in Canada.
Well, yeah, he had everybody's girlfriend up there, of course.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So who are the main players in this issue?
So this is Spider-Man, of course, coming upon the gold building that is collapsing because everything is made of gold. And structurally, that doesn't work out well with gravity. And the Kingpin waking up in the middle of the night, getting a phone call from some hoodlum saying, hey, there's a gold building. And he deciding he's going to take it. But he doesn't take it immediately. He calls up his buddies working in the federal government, knowing that he can't take it all. He just wants a piece of it, realizing it would crush the stock market and everything with the value of gold.
Right. Then we circle back to economics and accounting.
There's nothing as exciting as commodities trading and comic books.
Right. It's like politics in Star Wars.
Yes.
Nothing better.
Trade embargoes.
Yeah, trade embargoes. And also we have Charles Anderson, who's Kingpin's, well, he's not Kingpin's government guy, but he's the guy in the government that's charged with dealing with the gold building. And Mr. Anderson has an A1 priority card, which establishes credentials.
He does, which means I believe he's allowed to order steak in any restaurant and get A1 sauce with it without anyone complaining about it.
I think you're right, because he has that priority.
He gets A1 sauce anytime he wants.
Okay, quick Google search confirms what you're saying, but no other details about A1 priority cards.
Little known fact that, A1 was like invented in like 1863 or 1862 or something at the height of the Civil War.
Was it really?
Yes, when our country needed one thing to bring us all back together, and it was a goddamn good steak sauce.
Yeah, they needed like ketchup mixed with barbecue sauce to get
And I
A1
think
steak sauce and Worcestershire sauce.
yeah, I think that's when A1 priority was generated by Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, it had to be.
Right
This is like,
after,
there's not enough of this stuff. Me and my guys, we need it.
right after the Gettysburg Address, he realized when Reconstruction happened and all the copperheads and carpet makers were going to try to take the A1 down to the South. He's like, no, we got to establish a priority on getting the steak sauce out.
So I'm looking at the ingredients of A1 steak sauce here. So what dried up fruit do you think they have in A1?
I believe it's figs, if I had to guess, or raisins.
It is raisin paste.
Raisin paste, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you just spread that on some bread, have some raisin paste.
Yeah, it's got to be like Worcestershire, raisin paste, pepper, no fishy sauce. Well, the Worcestershire has fishes, isn't it? So that's
Yeah, so it doesn't have Worcestershire. It has tomato puree, vinegar, corn syrup, salt, raisin paste, crushed orange puree, spice, whatever that is. Just generic spice. Dried garlic, caramel
well,
color, dried onions, and potassium sorbate and xanthan gum.
if you had A1 priority, you would know what the spice means.
That's true. That is very true. Only Charles Anderson knows.
So Charles Anderson beats it really quickly from DC to New York with his bottles of steak sauce to deal with this gold building situation. And he finds Spider-Man there rescuing, saving people, and he orders the cops to shoot at Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man's trying to save people.
Right away, they're shooting at him. Poor Spider-Man. This is just like a pile-on for Spider-Man.
And so Spider-Man goes throughout the issue and saves a bunch of people, getting them out of the gold building.
No one
And
else is
finally,
saving people but Spider-Man. Power Man and Iron Fist, they're gone.
They got their loot and went.
Yeah, they got their gold. They got their gap and went.
They got their gap and went. But so my favorite is the last dude he saves. The building's crushing around him, and the dude's trying to get out of the building with his own personal possessions that have turned to gold.
Right.
Because he's like, they're mine, and everybody else, Spider-Man's already reasoned that they belong to the building. Everything belongs to the businesses, so it doesn't belong to him or anybody else. This guy's like, they're all my own personal belongings, so they're mine, so I got to take them home even though they're gold. Which is sound rationale until you see what spills out of his pockets, and he's got like a scissors and a stapler.
Oh, paper clips.
Yeah.
These are my things.
You do not bring your own personal swing line, man. Those are not your own personal scissors you brought.
This desk calendar, that's mine. I brought it here from my house. So Spider-Man arrests that fellow.
Now, if your office turned to pure gold, what item would you want most to keep out of the pure gold items? And not necessarily because it's the way it's the most, but the thing it should be like, this would be the coolest thing to have to be out of pure gold.
Oh man, I have to think about what's in my office real fast. I'm barely there anymore. I have this suction cup punching bag that sticks to my desk. If that turned to gold, that'd be cool. I have a gold stand-up punching bag. I would take that. What about you?
So I had a mini, like little miniature, like micro machine size, a little bit bigger, AT-AT, Star Wars AT-AT.
Oh, cool.
I think that would be it.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Solid gold. Put that in a chain around my neck. Show off my gap to all my Star Wars homies.
Hell yeah.
It's a solid gold at around my neck.
That'd be badass.
That's what it would be.
Someone might be getting solid gold ad for Christmas.
Somebody might have talked themselves into it good. But after sorting this all out, Spider-Man swings down, talks to Charles Anderson, and finally he's just a broken man because this is where he's kind of on the rocks with Mary Jane and then everything else, and he's poor and he needs money. So he takes a gold notepad. He says he's getting his, and this is it, and for saving all the lives and getting shot at by the cops.
Yeah, and this way he can pay for. Is it Ant-Man in the hospital or is Nathan in the hospital? I can't remember.
I believe it's Nathan.
Yeah. But not before he sees Kingpin getting his gap when Charles Anderson gives him a bunch of golden typewriters.
Yes.
And I feel like I read a story, and I was looking for it last night, but I couldn't find it, where it shows this gold building at the bottom of the Marianas Trench in the Marvel Universe. But I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked through the Illuminati issues that I thought I saw it in, tried to Google it, couldn't find it, but I feel like I read it somewhere.
It's linked on the Marvel fandom, I think. That Reed Richards decides the best way to get rid of and control this. It's like to lift it up, airlift it right, and drop it in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah, that sounds like I can see those drawings. I can see that art, but I just couldn't find it.
Yeah, I don't remember everybody seeing it. I just remember reading about it, I think, on one of the wikis.
Oh, well, I feel like I saw it somewhere. So.
I've seen stuff. I've seen it.
I saw that gap go flying.
I see some gold punching back. So 1 million golden monkeys typing on 1 million golden typewriters will eventually type all the works of Golden Shakespeare, correct?
They will, except that golden typewriters don't work.
Don't they? Why don't they work? Just because they're made of... I assume you can make a golden typewriter. I mean, that dude from James Bond made a gold gun, and it one shot, one killed everybody. I assume a gold typewriter, one types the works of Shakespeare, so it actually significantly cuts down on the monkey's work.
Probably. I mean,
we've all played GoldenEye. You get that golden gun, you can take out an odd job even when he's half.
When you're playing battle, you hide up in that one spot with the rocket launcher, and you just take everyone out.
Except for you get the golden gun, then you just walk up and count fools. That's what I'm going with.
Good stuff. That was a fun game.
Gold. So what's our next issue that we read here?
Our next issue is Daredevil number 223, which surprisingly also a Secret Wars 2 crossover. It is called The Price. And I thought this was a pretty good issue. There's not much superhero action, but it's...
Once again, this is another one where they realize we have to tell these stories because Shooter's making us do it, so we're going to do pseudo-origin morality plays. Right. About the characters.
Right. And this one's written by Denny O'Neil and Jim Shooter. So I think Jim Shooter had to jump in and say, this is what we need to do with the Beyonder. The penciler was David Mazzucchelli and inker Kim DeMulder. Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, edited along with Craig Anderson. I like the cover. This one. One thing about the crossover issues, they all seem to have really cool covers. I like most of them.
But this one, I didn't quite get the cover that he's all scared in an alley and the Beyonder's coming up on him. When, if you read the issue, you're like, well, it's not that scary what the Beyonder does.
Right. It's a cool cover. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what happens inside the story, though.
Like, I'd be a little PO'd if I bought this off the rack. Also, who did the cover for this one?
We know who did the cover for this one. The master, John Byrne.
The Halifax explosion once again did it on the cover.
Yeah.
But it looks like
cover ever written, ever drawn.
It looks like Daredevil's going to pee his pants in it, and I'm like, if I open this issue and I don't see Daredevil pee his pants, I'm going to be a little upset.
Looks like he's going to do something else.
Well, yeah,
like he's going to like
number two is pants.
Drop a deuce in that alley.
He's gonna hobo toilet in the alley there. So. But no, the whole point of this one is the Beyonder comes to Foggy Nelson and Matt Murdock to hire them to buy the world, which is a good plan. I like it.
Yeah, it's sound plan, except it's going to take a very long time.
Because he's learned about Gap already, so he's like, "Well, if I got the Gap, I can buy the Globe."
Yeah, he's also made everyone in the world. But he controlled everyone in the world in the Secret Wars 2 issue before this. He's like, well, that wasn't any fun. It was too easy. I need to do it, through through legal mechanisms. So
I need title searches, motherfuckers.
Right. Lots of them.
Imagine doing all the title searches for the Globe.
Yeah, you gotta start small though with Nelson Murdock.
I mean, having been to the Chicago building when the guys are working title searches for Chicago Title and Trust in the basement of Cook County, they have like 1 million interns running around pulling out books and taking photocopies of these different books. But that's just
like
Chicago.
in the city of Chicago, all those old titles. Yeah, when I worked for a property law office, we had a separate title section, and they were just like guys on computers all day, just searching and searching and searching.
But imagine trying to do that for the world.
The world. Yeah. You're not going to find that title.
And you're going to hire a blind guy and a chubby guy to do it for you. Chubby guy's easy to be. Chubby guy gets the body really easy. He just needs $1 million.
Yeah.
But what does Matt Murdock get?
He gets a different retainer, and not one he asked for, but the Beyonder gives him his sight back. And he gives it to him right when he's in the middle of going after some dude who stole his girlfriend's purse. So it freaks him out, and he falls into like a vat of chemicals or something, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Just like the way he lost his sight. Yeah. he thinks he's going to lose his sight again, but he doesn't.
He does not, no. But then he just walks away from the crook. But it turns out Matt Murdock not as good at being Daredevil when he has his eyesight.
Quick fact check. Did you guess what color Matt Murdock's eyes were going to be?
I did not even think about it.
He's got baby blues.
Yeah, they're not red.
Nope.
They're not red.
And he just gets normal sights. Yeah, he doesn't get his heightened senses, with his eyes also. Yeah. And he immediately goes to his girlfriend and is like, hey, I got my eyes back, after staring at a baby in Central Park for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, being creepy.
Little did we know he gets his eyesight back. Instantly wants to steal babies by staring at them.
I know. It's like, I know. I'm going to go got my eyesight back. What do? Go stare at babies now. Babies.
Then his artist girlfriend, fashion artist girlfriend, what does she take him to do when he gets eyesight back?
I know they go to the museums. They
go look at a bunch of art and cityscapes. TV, motherfucker.
Yeah, watch some TV.
Star Wars. or maybe start on some of them title searches.
I know. Hurry up. How long it takes to convert those title searches to Braille? Goodness gracious. Do them now. Or spend some special time with your lady.
At one time, Matt Murdock has eyesight, so he's seen art before.
Yeah. He was there, and he's seen cityscapes.
He's seen cityscapes. But he hadn't seen Star Wars because he lost his eyesight before Star Wars.
He did. That's true. Yeah, go see Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, you should go right to the movie theater.
Dang it. You need to get a new girlfriend. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Go see 3 Men and a Baby. So Murdock eventually says, no, I'm better without my eyesight. So you can take it back, and we can't do this world purchase for you. It's like, get out of here, Beyonder. So the Beyonder takes his eyesight back, and then he's on his way, pretty much.
This is how I know Matt Murdock is not really a good lawyer.
Yeah. I think the Beyonder even offered to let him keep the eyesight, even though he wasn't going to do the work.
Yeah. But he doesn't.
Yeah.
Wonk, wonk.
Yeah.
Daredevil. And that begins our chain of events that rolls into Hulk number 312, titled Monster, which is early art by Mike Mignola, along with Gary Talllock, who I think is uncredited on the Marvel fandom, and he's actually in the link.
Mike Mignola and Bill Sienkiewicz collaborated on the cover too.
Who are guys that have similar styles, but they're kind of cross styles. Scratchy versus blocky, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, written by, I think, the great Bill Mantlo.
Yeah. And in this issue, Bill Mantlo likes a lot of words.
Yeah, he does. It's a very wordy issue.
But this kicks it off where they were told to do a crossover, and instead they decided to tell a Hulk origin story from a new perspective.
And I thought it was a really good story. Standalone, it doesn't even have to be a crossover. What they did with the art was really cool about the way they always had, regardless if Banner was an infant or a toddler or a teenager, they had like the outline of the Hulk around him. But poor Bruce Banner, holy shit.
Had a terrible childhood.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Started out born by C-section to Rebecca Banner and his a-hole dad, Dr. Brian Banner,
Mm-hmm.
who's some nuclear scientist on the Los Alamos project to build the bomb during the war.
He was exposed to
And
radiation.
yeah, he's exposed to radiation and figures his son's going to be a monster. And all you need to know about Brian Banner is he don't mind smacking a woman or a kid anytime he wants. And
Right.
he's a dick.
Yeah. Hates dirty muties too.
He hates dirty muties, hates everything. Gets his drink on a lot.
He does. He does get his
But
drink
a
on.
really good physicist.
He was, yeah. Well respected, especially by Thunderbolt Ross.
Mm-hmm. Because he built him a bomb.
He can build
But
him a bomb.
throughout this series, this comic, though, you learn about Banner's growing up, the death of his mom, his awful nursemaid who raised him, basically.
Yeah, Nurse Meacham.
Nurse Meacham, who I think had an affair with Brian Banner.
Oh, yeah?
I think that's
Seems like
insinuated.
Yeah.
It seems like it's insinuated. But he learned about his psychoses and how he develops 3 kind of personas to deal with everything.
The triad, I think they're called. They're not really, they're in the story, but they're not really revealed to be entities until the very end.
And he learned that Banner goes to science high school.
Science high school, yeah.
And he's the chief nerd at science high school.
He is.
So much that the science high school bullies pick on him and mess up his experiments.
Yeah, because he makes them look like pikers, man.
Who knew science high school had science bullies?
I know. Do you know what a piker is?
I've heard the term before, and I can't remember what movie it was in.
So a piker is one who gambles or speculates with small amounts of money, or one who does things in a small way. A tightwad or a cheapskate. So Banner made them all look like tightwads and cheapskates who were bad at science.
Yes.
At science high school.
I'm trying to think of a movie where there's a kid that calls the other kids pikers. It's a famous movie. I'll break down the rest of this story while I look that up.
Okay. Well, Banner eventually learns that his father killed his mother, and his father goes to an insane asylum and is released, and they meet at the gravestone of Banner's mother, where Banner's father then proceeds to kick him and smack him in the head. And then we flash forward to Banner going to work on the Gamma Bomb project for Thunderbolt Ross, where he meets Betty Ross. Thunderbolt Ross calls Banner a milksop, which is great. Poor Banner.
Because he's carrying around his
stuffed animal from
stuffed animal toy that he's getting. Yeah.
We also get to meet briefly Igor Schuyler, who is also known as, or his real name is Igor Drenkov, who's Banner's assistant, but also a Russian spy. So Banner notices Rick Jones is out in the Gamma Blast area and tells Igor to delay the blast so Banner can go out and get Rick Jones out of there. But Igor keeps the blast going, doesn't stop the countdown. So then Banner is exposed to the gamma radiation. And yeah.
And I like Rick Jones is just hanging out there. And the reason he's out there is because his buddy, dared him to go out there that he could get past the guards without getting caught. And he's just out listening to his radio with his folk music going.
Yeah, well, it's Rick Jones. Wherever Rick Jones goes, there's folk music to follow.
And I remember the movie where they used the words piker, the kid uses it, searching for Bobby Fischer. Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, they use it in Snatch because the people are called bikers and that's, the gypsies in England. But they're searching for Bobby Fischer. He uses the term piker, the little kid, the little boy, because somebody calls somebody a piker. Deep get by Yek.
Yeah, there you go, everyone. Aren't you glad you tuned in?
If you want to watch great 90s movies.
Yes. If you want to know ancient slang that was referenced in 90s movies.
Great Joe Montana movies.
So the Beyonder wasn't really involved in
at all.
Yeah,
he's just watching.
He's watching, and he sends there's some kind of death beam because Banner's in some other dimension during this story, just reliving his past, and Banner wants to die. Surprised he's not dead already, and there's some death beam or some beam that's that appears in the area, and the Beyonder just sends it straight to Banner, and that's where the issue ends. But we know he doesn't die, because I think the next issue he winds up like showing up in Alpha Flight space as a raging Hulk.
Well, yeah, as things will happen in Alpha Flight.
That sounds fun.
Because things just happen in Canada. If John Burke's driving you.
Hell yeah.
Next issue that we looked at was Avengers 261 Earth and Beyond, which is kind of a crossover mid thing where they're dealing with some Skrull issues and Nebula and the Avengers, and they come back to Earth. And this one, as far as I can tell, was just to move the story along, and he had to appear in an Avengers comic. So this is the one he appears in.
This is the most Beyondery of the Secret Wars 2 crossovers so far. And we do see that before they return from space, Star Fox leaves the Avengers, and Captain America says, "Wait a second, mister. You don't have to leave. We'll just put you on inactive status." Cap by the book. It's important to know. Star Fox on inactive status.
You got to keep the bench up, man. That's how it works for the Avengers. We're not, they're not like the X-Men who can just spawn another team that doesn't do anything.
Right. All right. So we have this issue written by Roger Stern, penciled by John Buscema, cover art by Buscema and Tom Palmer. And the Beyonder in this one also wears his spectacular, huge hoop shoulder, silvery superhero costume.
He puts on his action figure gear in this one, yeah.
He sure does.
He's sure like, does. In 10 years, they're going to make a TV show called Silverhawks, and I want to try out for it.
They have wings of silver and wings of steel.
Yes.
Partly metal, partly real.
Don't know why the Beyonder didn't make the cut on the editions for Silverhawks.
No,
after he wore his outfit, but yeah.
That show, what wowed me about that show is they had an entire planet that was a prison. I love that. That was really cool.
That you didn't like the one that when the guy just carried around a guitar the whole time, the cowboy carried a guitar around the whole time.
No, I don't remember that part.
That was a thing. In the mid-90s, you had to have a cowboy with a guitar in your cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have watched it if it didn't have that.
Yes.
There's no way.
But this one, it's more memorable for just Hercules and Beyonder throwing fists at each other and smashing through mountains and everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't move the meter on much, but that's about all that happens.
Yeah, Hercules uppercuts him right up from the basement of Avengers Mansion into their hangar, makes everything explode. It's a really well drawn panel as well, because you see him just going up through the different floors. Right. And then
of the issues, this is the most superhero-y, supervillainy.
Yeah, I think
stuff.
You're right. Yeah. Don't they? And then they're at the Black Knight and Hercules are at Project Pegasus. And the Beyonder essentially punches Hercules right through the side of the mountain with a huge macgroon. Of course. That's the sound a mountain makes when you punch through it. Macgroon.
Yeah, type of rock.
Yeah. And one thing that was I think was a good idea in this issue is the Wasp invites the Beyonder to become an Avenger in training so they can kind of keep tabs on him.
Yeah, but the Wasp always ahead of the game on that.
Yeah, but he declines.
Turns it down.
Yeah.
Got better things to do. Doesn't, I think at the time the monthly rate for Avenger was $1,000 a month, a paycheck.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
And so the gap wasn't enough for Beyonder to stay around.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get that gap.
But as I said, not much happened. So if you want to read it just for fun, punchy stuff, that's a good one. The next one's a little more interesting and fun. Also, it's Thing 30, Above and Beyond, where this is the Thing is working as a wrestler in the UCWF. What does UCWF stand for again? K-Mac?
Well, the UCWF. That's a good question.
It's like Unlimited Championship Wrestling
Federation. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Unlimited Championship Wrestling Federation.
Where super people wrestle WWF style.
They do, except it's more real than WWF style. Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation.
Wait.
How could it be? I know. I don't know what I was saying. I'm sorry.
What are you saying about wrestling here, K-Mac?
I'm saying, man, I don't know how those guys do it. get hit in the head
It's
with
the
chairs,
ultimate
get right back
sport
up.
where giant people, men and women, fight it out for entertainment like modern day gladiators
They do. They do.
for belts of gap.
Championship belt of Gap. Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation.
Okay. But the thing is, the primetime star
Thing is the Hulk Hogan.
and his ring man is Vance Astro,
I know.
who goes on to be the future Marvel Boy Vance Ostrock in the future of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Marvel Boy also with his telekinetic powers in New Warriors,
Yep.
and then joins the Avengers.
He sure does, briefly, right?
So in this one, the Beyonder joins, gets drunk on a lot of beer at a bar, and
At
gets
Ringside Bar.
convinced, gets convinced to join the USTWF by a talent scout after he beats up a couple of guys in the bar with no problem at all.
Yeah, double back elbow is what it's called. Special move.
Boom!
Ah. Yeah, and so the thing is really mad at the Beyonder because the Beyonder, after the shenanigans in the first Secret Wars where they were on Battle World, all the heroes left, but the Thing stayed because on Battle World he could change back and forth between Ben Grimm and the Thing as much as he wanted, and then
And he had his own love there.
he did have his
Who
own
got
love
died
there.
off.
Yeah, maybe right. And then he ended up back on Earth. I haven't read those stories. I think they'd be interesting, but they're apparently in Thing 11 to 22. But Thing ends up back on Earth. When he gets back to Earth, Johnny Storm is married to Alicia Masters. He finds out from Reed Richards that for whatever reason he could change back and forth when he was on Earth, but Reed just didn't tell him. And then
Because Reed's a
dick.
dick.
Yeah, he is a dick. And apparently the woman he fell in love with on Battle World looks exactly like Sharon Ventura, who he met in the Thing issues when he got back. So everything's just going wrong for Ben Grimm. So he's taking it out on people in the wrestling ring.
Yes. He loses his blind girlfriend to the hothead, and the other girl that he can't quite get and doesn't know why he wants it. And so he organizes a match between him and the Beyonder, even though the ring master of the CWF realizes it would be a good thing because the Beyonder would wipe the slate clean with them after he sees his they give him his test to lift weights, and he lifts all the weights and more.
Yeah, that's a cool panel as well. Now the Beyonder, I think, picks his own wrestling outfit.
Yeah, I was about to say, tell me about his fly outfit.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, green pants, no shirt, because this is the Beyonder. He's buff, but green pants, gold belt, gold boots with stars, little stars on them.
Yes,
like sweet.
It's a flash.
One thing the Beyonder can do is he can get dressed. He knows how to dress himself.
He can style and profile.
He does. He does.
But he allows the Thing to beat the living crap out of him for a while. Because he realizes he doesn't want to go on and all he wants to do is more beer, which is an understandable situation in life. Once you realize you're the ultimate being in the world, what would you do? Well, I just drink a lot of beer. This is a good life.
Yeah. I think we referenced this issue a few times in the podcast about Secret Wars 2. So this is the one where he's just like, give me more beer, give me more beer, give me more beer. So he just wants to get paid in beer for this.
He's what we term in economics has gone to the tertiary level of economic returns. Right. No longer needing monetary exchange. He just give me
gap.
Just give me straight what I want in exchange for goods and services and barter. I don't need this faux abstract concept of money. Beer is money.
Beer is money. So this is one of the perfect comic books and cold ones crossovers.
Yes.
Well done.
But at the end of it, the Thing comes to his senses because Sharon realizes how much he loves him. He loves her. And at the end of it, the Beyonder goes back to the bar and just keeps drinking.
Yeah. And we skipped the credits on this one. Michael Carlin wrote, Ron Wilson penciled, and did the cover with Dennis Janke or Yankee, who's also on the first one. Mark Grunwald edited this one. And this is also, I think, the very last issue of Thing's first solo series. At least it's the last one on Marvel Unlimited, which I think it's the last one.
I believe you are right. This is the last issue that they made.
And it has a cool cover as well. I also like the cover of the next issue we're going to talk about.
Well, then that lets you go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Lead off there with the next.
Yeah, well, the next crossover we'll be discussing is Doctor Strange 74. And this issue came out, I was going to say the year, but I just don't know the year, between 85 and 86. So September
It
85.
came out, release date September 3rd, 1985, cover date
Yeah.
December 1985.
Yeah. Writer Peter Gillis, penciler and cover Mark Badger. I like the cover of this one. I think it's really neat. Doctor Strange shooting a beam of energy into the Beyonder's face. It's kind of blocky style, would you say?
Yeah, and he's kind of levitating weirdly.
He is levitating weirdly. He's like partially in his cape.
Yeah.
So similar to the Hulk issue, this one also goes through Doctor Strange's origin, because the writer's like, I can't really deal with the Beyonder, so let me just figure something out here. But it starts out with Clea taking over the Dark Dimension. Now she's in charge.
Yep.
She wants Doctor Strange to stay, for some special one-on-one time,
to be the concubine of the Dark Dimensioner.
And so they're doing all kissy, and guess who peeps in on them?
Beyonder.
And why?
Because he wants.
He's like, I saw what Ben Franklin got. I want some too.
I've seen it all. I've done it all. I want some what Ben Franklin got.
I know what happens.
Sweet Clea. I want to taste.
So the Beyonder wants to know about enlightenment in this issue, and he goes to Doctor Strange's house, which I can't remember the name of right now. What is that again?
The Sanctum Sanctorum.
He mesmerizes Wong and someone named Sarah Wolf, and he checks out the Eye Agamotto, which gets Doctor Strange all wondering, how can someone do this? And he eventually finds Beyonder where? At a
bar.
At a bar. Comic books and cold ones, everyone. Perfect.
Because the Beyonder loves beer.
He does love beer. He gets into another bar fight, and then essentially they go on a tour of Doctor Strange's origin to learn about enlightenment. And the Beyonder realizes, oh, you have to go through
trials and tribulations
and experience hard things in order to come out enlightened. But even then, it doesn't necessarily automatically grant you enlightenment. So the Beyonder's a bit disappointed.
Wong, wong.
Yeah, there's that trombone player.
But my favorite part is in the fight, they destroy the bar, and then Beyonder's gift at the end of it, what does he do?
He just puts it back together.
He restores the bar, the greatest of all heroes.
Yes, he is the number one hero.
Oh, holy Beyonder, restore the place of beer.
Yeah, it is hilarious that in these comic books for children, the Beyonder just pounds beer. He just pounds it.
Because I assume Jim Shooter at work just had a keg of Iron City beer. It was just like pouring and writing the stuff, longhand style, and yelling at what's his name for not writing G.I. Joe enough. God damn, one of those G.I. Joe issues. But overall, this was a solid one as the origin stories go. But it's just more of the we got to play along with you, Shooter, so we're going to tell an origin story. Next one, New Mutants 37. If I Should Die.
Pretty intense.
This one is where the Beyonder had sought out the New Mutants before, and this time he goes to basically just take them out and make them his own. Would you say that's on?
Just like when he comes to them, he's just like, okay, that's it. I'm just going to murder you guys. I'm going to wipe you from existence. And we have, of course, written by Claremont, cover by Rick Leonardi and Bill Sienkiewicz. I like this cover too. That's pretty. He's just kind of sitting down and taking them out without any effort. Penciler Mary Wilshire, colorist Glennis Oliver. We had Glennis Oliver appear in some Halloween issues back in the day.
When she was Glennis Ween.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Yeah, but this one is just like the Beyonder playing the part of the Grim Reaper. Like the mutants aren't really sure why he's doing what he's doing, but he says, I'm just going to kill you all. That's it.
The most interesting part of this one is announces himself in a vision to
Mirage, right? Is it Mirage or is it
Mirage, and she sees each of the visions of
or is
the
it
gods
Karma?
of death, the gods of death of each of the people. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
that's
yeah,
Mirage. It's Mirage.
it's Mirage, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Mirage,
that was really cool.
because from Mirage she sees Hela, since she's now ascended to being a member of the
Of the Valkyries.
Asgardian realm
Yeah,
instead of her
and
Native American heritage.
yeah, and so the Beyonder's drawn in differently in this one. He's mostly just like covered in black and shadows the whole time. He's not. You don't really see him in the form that he's in the other stories. So yeah, it's kind of a surprising turn considering what we read him in the last crossover. And I think this is probably after that issue of Secret Wars 2 where he was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna
Yes,
worry about this stuff anymore. I don't remember which issue that was, but there was one where he just kind of gave up on everything.
yeah, this is the one where, and then remember, he turns them into his own personal servants. He kills them, then brings them back and makes them his
Right,
own team of fighters.
right, and then he lets them go.
Yes,
But then and it's weird because at first no one remembers who they are
which is weird because
because we
he
erase
can
them from
kill people
existence.
and bring them back, but then in the issue we're going to talk about next, he can't bring people back from the dead.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
the only people he can kill, he can bring back from the beyond. I don't know how that works.
and it really doesn't matter very much. But
That was a really good
comic
fruity
books.
beer for a fruity story on a Beyonder.
Yeah, I finished my beer back when we were done talking about the gold building.
Yes, it was really solid for the smooth glider. It smooth glides just like all these Beyonder stories.
Yeah. You open up another one or something different?
So I'll probably get something different here in a second.
Yeah, I'm going to do something different.
I have a 1664 Blanc Cronenberg here, a
Oh,
Snowmobile.
that matches up with what we're talking about.
Blanc.
Blanc. I have something from a beer company called Legal Draft. I guess I should have opened this during the Daredevil story.
That's okay.
But the beer is called Nowhere But Texas, so that doesn't match up at all. But
We have no Texas stories.
no tech. Well, Texas is referred to in the Thing story because that's where he first met Sharon Ventura.
Oh, okay. And New
But
Mexico
there,
is close to the whole story.
yeah, that's true. It's close. Yeah, perfect. And it's beer, so the Beyonder likes beer.
But nothing really comes out of this New Mutant story other than it's probably the one that ties in most to all the series of the main line, because the New Mutants do pop up as a prominent characters in the mainline series, like we said,
Yeah,
as his own personal army.
yeah, and it's kind of just a brutal story too
Yes.
of like it's like a horror comic book almost because you just have
Yes.
this entity come in and kill all these teenagers.
And Mirage has a Pegasus
She does. She
from Odin.
does. Were you able to read the next issue?
ROM 72, I sure
Yeah.
was.
How'd you
Using
read it?
all internet skills, I was
Nice.
able to get this. I
Oh,
believe, sir, you own a copy
I
of this.
do own this one. I'm not sure. I think it was in one of those Sears catalog. You get a bunch of comic books for Christmas deals.
there's, there's nothing Sears loves more than to give you a ROM, the Space Knight.
Heck yeah, I have 2 issues of ROM. It's either 71 and 72, and this is ROM 72, or it's 72 and 73.
What's impressive is ROM made it to 72 issues.
It is. It's very impressive. Good for him. I mean, the
you
Space
know,
Knights sound like a cool concept. But I've never really
well,
read any of their stories except for this one, and he's not in
you,
it
you do know ROM started out
as a
based on a
toy.
toy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they,
and that
just like G.I.
Marvel
Joe.
licensed the toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now some other company, I don't know if they're still doing it. An independent comic book company started publishing ROM again, and they kept Marvel's legacy numbering.
Oh, they did.
But I don't know if it's still happening or not.
The Space Knights do pop back up when we get to the Annihilation Conquest after Annihilation
Oh, really? Yeah,
in
I read
modern MCU.
an issue of Teenage Cable, and a couple of Space Knights pop up in one of his stories. And he has to like
But
kill them or trick them, or I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
but as a young K-Mac got this from a Sears collection, expecting a ROM appearance and a lot of Space Knighthery, he got none of that.
I did
Instead,
get none of that.
he got the mores of, or not the mores, the the malcontentness of Rick Jones, Brandy Clark, and Cindy Adams, with Beyonder saying, "I'll give you whatever you want to learn about fulfillment." Amongst the three.
Yeah.
At the time, Rick Jones has gamma cancer,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a thing, people. There's nothing. Gamma rays can give you cancer, but it's a particular type of cancer, not gamma cancer.
No, if Rick Jones has it, it's real. We know Rick Jones is the common man's tie-in to the Marvel Universe. Everything that happens to Rick Jones is real.
I think he could have just cured himself by playing some folk music to get rid of it.
Probably. I wonder why he's not running the Teen Brigade anymore on his ham radio, letting the Avengers know what's going on.
No, just ham radio. He would have been the original podcaster, right? Just ham radio about things.
Probably.
And then he could ham radio about having the cancer and fighting cancer, the gamma cancers, with the Space Knights.
He doesn't drink enough beer
to get to have a successful podcast.
So check this out. This is, like we said, ROM, right? Written by Bill Mantlo, penciled by Steve Ditko, ink Bob Layton. It's like, holy crap. Cover by Kerry Gammill. I don't know who that is, but yeah, they got an all-star team on this one. And it's a decent story. I mean, Rick Jones is just like, he's the normal Rick Jones. He's just not happy with what's going on.
Yeah. Well, it starts out with the Beyonder, just like 3 pages of him being mystical and talking about how he has trying to figure out Familion after having merged his essence with every man, woman, and child.
Right.
And all I gotta say is, Beyonder, you nasty.
He's nasty.
You gotta glove up on that. You're gonna be merging with everybody. Yeah. Come on, man. God. Some discretion.
Where's some protection?
What are you? Wait, you beating Wilt Chamberlain's numbers?
Yeah, clearly.
Come on, have some standards, Beyond.
And then we have a guess who's coming to dinner.
After they save some guy from a lightning strike that turns out to be Beyonder.
Yeah, who turns out to first he looks exactly like Steve Rogers, and Rick Jones doesn't recognize him. Rick Jones. I mean, you're the one who essentially ended the Kree-Skrull War, and you can't recognize that looks like Steve Rogers?
You created the Hulk.
Right.
You formed the Avengers.
Right.
You were Bucky replacement.
You were Captain Marvel's alter ego a little bit, negative zone alter ego.
Anchor to Earth. Yeah. And anchor to this dimension. Winner of the Kree-Skrull War.
And
buddy with Rom the Space Knight.
Right. And world famous folk singer.
World famous folk singer.
Right. So like you were saying, the Beyonder essentially lets them wish for whatever they want. And none of them can do it because they're all feeling way too guilty. But not before Rick Jones becomes a super cool looking Hulk-looking superhero guy who can fly, but is not as strong as the Hulk. But
he's a mashup of Captain Marvel and Hulk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
Captain
and he can't even save the animals falling off the mountain. I'm surprised he didn't have a guitar over his shoulder too. That would have been good. Super folk singer.
Yeah, and they do some Fighting of the Dire Race, which are the arch nemesis of the Space Knights.
Yeah, in Limbo.
And they bring back, little Cindy Adams' parents, and the Beyonder learns she can't just get fulfillment by just giving people what they want. Just like you can't get enlightenment, you have to kind of find out what fulfillment is for yourself.
Right. As kids, you could learn a lot from these comics.
They're deep philosophical things.
Yeah. But I don't know why Rick Jones didn't say, I want to be my world famous folk singer guy again. I want to be him again.
Yeah. Which I don't understand. Once the upshot of all this is he goes looking for understanding, fulfillment, enlightenment, and everything like that. And what's his ultimate answer, K-Mac?
You got to earn it.
No,
No?
beer.
Beer. Oh, yeah,
Beer.
that's true. Beer is how you get to all these things.
He realizes it's at the bottom of a brown bottle.
Oh, yeah, at the corner of the bar counter at the bottom
Yes.
of the bottle.
Which
This issue should have ended with he and Rick Jones sitting at a bar.
and saying, I want to put some in the jukebox, and Rick Jones being like, one of mine's on there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can just play it live. I can play it live. You just gotta have to give me a guitar.
So that's how we learned about fulfillment. And we're going to close it out here with Amazing Spider-Man number 274. Lo, there shall be a champion. And once again, K-Mac is showing me one of his prize collections on the camera here.
Yeah, so this has no ads, 32 pages, and has a poster inside too. Can you believe it? A poster?
No, what's that going for now on the price guides? With poster intact.
$250.
How much cap you getting for that?
$2.15.
How much cap you getting for that? But this one is the trial and tribulation episode we've been waiting for, where Beyonder wants to test the mettle of man and Herodom, and he enters that contest with Mephisto. Mephisto, of course, is trying to kill the Beyonder and all those good things, and he's trying to figure a way. So Beyonder wagers him for the fate of at least to go away, right?
Yeah, well, so Mephisto and the Beyonder's wager is that if Mephisto wins, the reality can stay intact for one more day, and if the Beyonder wins, he's just going to destroy everything.
Yes.
So this seems like I'm talking about it, like what order these were in. It seems like this should come right after the New Mutants.
Yeah, this is one of the later ones.
Yeah, and maybe Rom should have been earlier. I don't know,
because in the main line, Mephisto, remember, teams up with all the villains to try to take him out.
Yeah.
When he's in Kansas, I believe, or Colorado, I can't remember where his final base.
Yeah, no, he's on an island with the Thing.
That one. Yeah, that's where he's on the island with the Thing.
Yeah, that was a good issue. That was number 8, wasn't it, or something? Mm-hmm. The cool cover. But yeah, so Spider-Man learns that there's a plot to assassinate the Kingpin, and even though Spider-Man hates the Kingpin, he is obliged to try to save his life and not let this murder happen.
The wager is
Zarathos, who is some dude that Mephisto has in a bottle, right?
Not just some dude.
He's some dude.
No.
What is he, the spirit of will breaking?
No. He is one of the elder gods who is the spirit of vengeance who possesses one Johnny Blaze to become what?
Seriously? Wow, really?
Yes, the Ghost Rider. And this is the point where Zarathos has been removed from Johnny Blaze in the Ghost Rider series or whatever, and he's being tormented. And he is the spirit of vengeance he hates Mephisto because, all he does is bad things. But he's one of the elder gods.
Huh, I had no idea. So on occasion, Mephisto would forcibly bond Zarathos to mortals as a mockery of the spirits of vengeance. On one such occasion, he bonded Zarathos to carnival stunt cyclist Johnny Blaze, transforming into the Ghost Rider for many years. Wow,
yes.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Now you're educated about the Ghost Rider. Now you can be more informed about Nick Cage.
I can. Check me out. Is that why the cover of that one Ghost Rider issue have glows in the dark?
Yes, because it is imbued with the spirit of Zarathos, the elder god spirit of vengeance.
I bet he's pissed that he's in a box in my closet.
Well, he's caged like Mephisto caged him, but you've been able to do it with a cheap piece of plastic and a cardboard.
Hell yeah. And another box on top of it. No wonder that thing every once in a while goes bump, bump. They're also like, you must release me from my prison. I'm like, shut up.
You only go up in value if you stay in your prison.
Yeah.
You think this is a prison? Wait till I send you to get graded, motherfucker. you, you never get out of the CGI grade.
It's an eternal prison.
But the wager is Mephisto takes Spider-Man right as his champion.
Well, Beyonder
And
chooses this champion for him.
Sharathos. Yeah,
And
that's
so
correct. That to prove humanity will overcome everything. And Zarathos throws everything at him in terms of Spider-Man's past, which is another origin story, basically, of everything that's gone bad with Spider-Man.
He even makes his face break out into pimples.
Yes.
Everything.
What an a-hole.
I know. Vengeance.
Vengeance he didn't realize there's Noxzema now. That's the reason he's an elder god. He's like, we got this covered, man.
Wait, what?
I got Noxzema, motherfucker. Go vengeance something else. But after all this, he brings back the Gwen Stacy. He brings back the parents. He brings back Uncle Ben shows up. They all show up, right?
Yeah. Captain Stacy shows up.
Yeah.
Everyone. I think Norman Osborn shows up.
It runs him through the ringer of his past, but Spider-Man, true to colors, come through and does save the day and takes out the sniper that was going to shoot the Kingpin.
Yeah, so spoilers, the universe and the reality in Marvel was not destroyed. You can still buy these comics.
For at least one day.
Yeah, for just one more day.
We can't tell you what happens after that one day in comic book time. Overall, this is the other one. This is the most kind of superhero-y. I liked it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I mean, still, it's a pseudo origin story. I mean, 3 of these comics that we reviewed are basically just origin story. This one is also,
recap origin story of Spider-Man's greatest failures, pretty much.
Yeah. The things that motivate him. No, there shall come a champion. Man, they wrote a lot about this on Marvel fandom. Man, the guy, the nerd that wrote that just
yeah, they did. Yeah, he kept writing.
Yeah. The nerd had nothing better to do. Now, maybe for one of the Halloween episodes, we're gonna read some Ghost Rider again.
Yeah, maybe.
We did the first appearance of the Monster Squad. That one time.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, this Amazing Spider-Man 274 is good. It's worth reading. It's better than most of the crossovers. It's pretty much just classic Spider-Man though.
Yeah.
I get beat up for no good reason because I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, just Spider-Man not necessarily not getting what he deserves, but just like just a common dude not catching any breaks.
Okay, Mac. What was your favorite story of these?
My favorite story of these. Let me see. I liked a few of them. A couple of them, not so much. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say I disliked any of them, actually. They were all pretty good. Maybe my favorite, and this is it's kind of hard because I own some of these and I've read through some of these, from when I was a kid.
You've already taunted me with your $1 million collection of Secret Wars 2 crossovers.
I know. I have there's a nostalgia factor for some of these with me. So I will go with, as my favorite story, Amazing Spider-Man 274.
Okay.
Because, when I was a kid, I was like, 32 pages, no ads, special poster on the inside cover. So the poster is just, it's the cover, but like the inside of the cover, front and back, is the front cover, just poster sized. Yeah. So
just telling kids to ruin the value of their Amazing Spider-Man 274 by taking them.
Not good investment advice. I mean, it's not going to be worth much gap at all. Just take the cover off. What about you? What was your favorite story?
I think it's a rundown between Web of Spider-Man 6, the Hulk story, and the Thing story. Mm-hmm. I think just overall comic book storytelling, I'm going to go with the Thing, just because I like it plays up to the form of the Thing. Here. Things are going on. It kind of keeps the series of his story moving along, as well as being a crossover.
Even though it ended.
Yes.
And then it got canceled after.
It crushed.
We got to keep the story going, guys. All right, keep it going. Canceled.
We couldn't. But I mean, the origin story of the Hulk is really good to see. Really, the psychosis of Bruce Banner,
Yeah, that was
why he
one of
has
my
all the
favorites
rage.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those were probably the Hulk, the Web of the Thing, just because there's so much beer,
yeah.
and then I have a special place for Rom in my heart too.
Anytime there's a space knight,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't appear? Rom appears not in his comic.
I know. So, what's your favorite cover? I'm gonna see if we have the same favorite
I'm
cover.
gonna go with the Amazing Spider-Man number
Okay.
6. Yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna
the
pick
Web
the
of Spider-Man. So
same.
the Web of Spider-Man number 6. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna pick too. Web of
Yeah.
6. Yeah, I like how it shows him like falling and then recovering in stages, and
Yeah.
the gold building is drawn well. John Byrne's signature, cool.
Yeah, those Web of Spider-Man maybe had some of the best cover going from when they debuted.
Yeah, the early ones. Yeah, there's a good Doc Ock cover, maybe number 3. Or the first
I
one was
remember
good.
Zach did a lot of those, right?
I don't know. I know I had a Twitter post that I really liked, Web of Spider-Man.
Yes, I remember.
And the people liked my Twitter post, so
all 3 of them.
All 3 of hell yeah. The 3 most important people like them.
Yeah, the 3 most important connoisseurs of Web of Spider-Man.
Right. For sure.
And how would you rate your beer that went along with our talking about this show tonight?
Well, so just a reminder, my beer is Gateway Gold by Fort Myers Brewing Company, a tall blonde ale, 4.1 ABV, and I'm gonna give my beer the rating of how do I exactly rate this? I'm gonna call it gold building with enough. No, that's a bad way.
Well, it's a gold ale,
it's a
so
gold
it's
ale.
gotta be.
But it's a gold ale with plenty of gap.
Gold ale with
gold ale with gap.
The gold ale with the gap of a gold building.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone's gonna know what that means.
And mine was Smooth Collider, which Boulevard Brewing Sour beer mashup of vanilla, bananas, and strawberries. And it's like all these crossovers colliding with everything, but it could be most surmised in Beyonders.
72, right?
Beyonders. Beyonders wrestling gear. Styling and colliding.
That is nice. I know you have your star boots on too.
I always have wrestling star boots on. So anytime I need to do a lockup, I can reach in there and get somebody.
Yeah, and get the hip toss going.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe one day, but probably not, we'll read some other Secret Wars 2 crossovers, but I think we're probably going to just move on from Secret Wars 2.
I think we've out Secret Warred ourselves.
I think so too.
I think we're beyond double Secret Wars. But we'll be moving along with another episode next time you tune in to us. And if you liked what we talked about tonight and the beers we drank or have suggestions for shows or beers, email us at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at cbco_podcasts and like all our pictures on Instagram at comicbooks_cold1s.
That's our IG, baby.
And if you want to blow us up like the Halifax explosion, please do on all the places you listen to this podcast with 5 stars on the Beyonders boots. And so once again, I am Yak of Comics and Cold Ones and had a few and enjoyed this talk. And I'm going to send to my man K-Mac to send us out.
That's who I am. I'm K-Mac. And I've also had some brews. Feeling nice. Thank you very much for listening. And tune in for our next episode. We are looking forward to it already. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good night.
Night.
Or day.